It's going well, man. Going well.
That's good to hear. I'm gonna start with the intro, and then I'm gonna have you introduce yourself. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
Hello, misfits and nomads. Step into the spotlight, let your essence shimmer and your creativity glims. This podcast is a canvas for your brilliance, a stage for your unique talent to dance and dazzle. Embrace the rhythm of your artistry, the melody of your voice, and the power of your story. As we dive into the depth of your passion, let the world feel the pulse of your creativity, the fire of your spirit, and the measure of your craft. This is your time to shine, your moment to inspire, so unleash your talent, showcase your gift, and let your light illuminate the way. Welcome to a podcast where dreams take flight, talent find their wings, and greatness know no bounds. Get ready to captivate, inspire, and leave a legacy that resonates through the ages. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up? My name is YUGEN, and I am like a hip hop artist from New Jersey. I kind of, genre bend a little bit, so I guess I just call myself hip hop.
Job. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like I said, I'm from New Jersey. I am 31 years old. Um, I feel like I always grew up kind of listening to hip hop music, but I didn't really start doing the YUGEN stuff until maybe around like 2018, 2019. Um, I've always actually been in metal bands before I did all this. So, this is kind of fairly new territory for me, but it's been well received, so I've been pretty excited about it.
Interesting. And the music that you own right now, you would consider it hip hop?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like hip hop with like hyper pop thrown in there. It's kind of like an amalgamation, I think, of just like, my current favorite artists and influences. 'Cause I like hip hop, but I've also been getting kind of into this new wave of hyper pop stuff, and I like to incorporate like a lot of like the emo rap, hyper pop, like sad boy kind of stuff with different types of hip hop beats.
Hmm.
Just I feel like I'm kind of pushing the envelope of hip hop a little bit, but not really. But not really at the same time. I'm still kind of in the same genre, but I'm like doing a bunch of other stuff within it. Like I'm throwing like pop punk and other stuff in it too.
I respect. I dig it. Okay. And you mind telling us a bit of how this journey's all started for you? What got you into music?
Well, so what got me into music in general, I think like I was like 14 years old and I saw like a band play live and I was just like, damn, I want to be them, you know? Um, I think it was like seeing a band come out on stage and like a whole crowd just starts roaring and screaming their name. I was like, yes, I want to do that. Um, so I started like working on rock music when I was like 14, all the way up until I was like, I don't know. Well, I guess from like 14 till when like 2018 or so. Um, and I was in this metalcore band called I the Oracle, and the um, we had two vocalists set up, and the one vocalist, Shane, who recently passed away, he uh, was like really into like freestyle rapping, and I had never really even thought about doing hip hop at that point in time, but I got like really depressed, and I was just like really like up in my head a lot. And to try to help me get out of it, he used to just walk into my bedroom, turn on some hip hop beats, and just start freestyling at me until I got up and started doing it with him. And
Hmm.
eventually we ended up like writing a couple songs together, and like never putting them out. Um, but that's kind of when Yugen was born. Was kind of out of that dark period of my life, and my friend really trying his hardest in the only way that he really knew how, which was musically, to make me feel better. Um,
Hmm.
and so I think that's around the time that Yugen was born. I think Yugen became a lot more serious, maybe sometime around like 2021 when I recorded like my first music video. I think that's like when I really started just kind of embracing what YUGEN could be, I suppose.
And sorry for your loss. You sound like a cool bandmate.
Yeah, yeah, we all recently got to say our goodbyes, and it is what it is. It's very unfortunate, but life moves on. The only thing we can do is live for our lost friends and make the best out of our life for the best of well, for all of us.
I agree. And what, not to pry too much, but it was more to it. Did y'all end up breaking up the band, or did you
Um,
decide to go solo?
no, no, no. So I even when I was doing Yugen, I was still in a band. I'm still in bands.
Okay.
I don't think that I could just strictly solely like do one genre. I think I'm too. I don't want to say I'm too creative because that sounds like kind of conceited, but like I feel like my the creative side of my brain doesn't ever sleep, and I think if I just tried to do one thing, I wouldn't satiate all of what I need musically, because I like to sing, I like to scream, I like to rap, I like to do pop music, I like to do punk music, I like to do metal and everything in between. So I think like in all of my projects I tend to like kind of mesh all of my influences from all different genres within my music somehow. But I feel like if I only stuck to one thing, um, I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice because there's so many other avenues that I also like to explore.
Understandable.
But with the Oracle, we were gonna keep going on as a band, but then when Shane passed away, we all decided that we were gonna let the band kind of die with him. He helped start the band. He was one of, if not the longest standing members in the band. And we just felt wrong continuing on without him. So we broke up, but we are releasing a 10-year album because we've been a band for 10 years. But we're releasing a 10-year album to kind of close out our saga as a band. And then the remaining members of the band that wanted to continue music, we all formed another project, which I'm not announcing yet because we're trying to do things very smart. So once we have all of our eggs in the right basket, we'll let ourselves be known. But I am working on a couple other projects, and I'm having fun.
No. And when it comes to, I'm guessing that's the band that you was talking about that you part of, one that you're working on in the shadows.
hmm
Okay. And you're not looking to be part of any other band, or are you still exploring, open to that?
No, I'm still like doing stuff. I have this one project called Zafiro, which means sapphire in Spanish. And it's like a post-hardcore project that I've been working on with a couple of my friends from Florida. It's more of like an internet project, but it's something that I can just like release music with them, and it's fun to do. And then I'm also working on another project that doesn't necessarily have a name yet, but it's with a bunch of my close friends from the previous band I was in called Paper Mache. We all kind of decided to get back together and do a little bit more stuff together. So that's a thing right now, but we don't have a name yet, and we're still writing in the early writing process. So I'm sure those two projects will see the light of day very soon. We're planning at least for one of them to be out sometime early next year. So
Okay.
so we're almost there.
Okay, congratulations. It seems like you got a lot of projects in the work.
Yeah, yeah. I don't ever stop when it comes to music, man. I got a home studio and I just kind of sit around and just create whenever I can.
Okay. And when it comes to these projects, are they looking to be released sometime next year?
Yeah, at least one of them, it has like a solid, like we know when roughly we're going to be trying to push content for it and release. So at least one of them will be. The other one, we're just kind of taking it as it goes. It's more of like a, it's more of a, oh, excuse me.
No problem.
It's more of a, like we're seeing what happens with it and we're like slowly, writing and trying to perfect what we're working on, so that when it comes time to release, we have a really good product. But right now in such the early stages. I don't know when our first single is going to come out for that band, but I do know that the one that I'm working on with the Ivy Oracle members is coming out sometime early next year. I'm pushing for maybe like March, but it could be earlier, it could be a little later. You never know.
No problem. All right, shout out to that. And I'm curious, what inspired your solo name?
What inspired my solo name? I think it really spoke to me because of um, it really spoke to me because of how I was feeling at the time. Yugen actually means it's a word that has no meaning, well, no direct meaning, um, but it roughly means like the sad beauty of the. It's like the sad beauty of human suffering and the mysterious beauty of the universe.
Mm.
And at the time, I felt like it really resonated with me. So, when I first started making Yugen music, it was really sad. A lot of the stuff that I wrote about was like really just kind of like in my head, dark thoughts. Like if I didn't get them out, they just like rot my brain. So like I just kind of put out a bunch of like really depressing, sad songs in the beginning. And then I started to like write happier music, and then I like went to trap for a while, and then I stopped doing trap slash drill stuff, and I stopped doing that, and I made the shift to hyperpop, and now I just kind of do an amalgamation of all of my favorite rap genres.
Okay. And do you go by any other name?
No, Yugen is the only name that I go by, like professionally, I suppose. Otherwise, like I just kind of go by PJ, which is my nickname. But nobody really knows my real name. They just all everybody always calls me PJ.
Okay. No, I was just asking that to see was there any other music release?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, so I do. The only project that I know for sure is coming out in January, is I have a project called Wyoming Isn't Real. Um, and it is a hyperpop project that I made with my friend Taylin, who used to be the lead singer of like an emo band called Least.
Mm.
Um, she now releases music under Taylin Isn't Real, and she is the other half of Wyoming Isn't Real. Um, the project, it's funny actually. The project started out as a joke. Like we were like, what if we just made a hyperpop project and we named it something stupid like Wyoming Isn't Real, and then we
Mm.
like named a bunch of our songs just like things that didn't make any sense, and it's, whatever, and like as a joke, and then we dropped a song, and within like the first 2 days it got like 6,000 plays, and we were like, oh, I guess we have to keep making this music.
Mm.
So we've been dropping music as Wyoming Isn't Real ever since. But that one, I guess, like I wish that more people would know about it. But at the same time, like I kind of like that it's like my own little slice of heaven. Like I can just kind of release music into the void, and if it catches the algorithm, it catches, and if it doesn't, then who cares? It's mainly for me.
Mm.
Um, but I definitely, it's definitely a fun project. If you haven't checked it out, which if you haven't checked it out, it's called Wyoming Isn't Real, like the state. Um,
Mm.
and it's a pretty fun project. It's a lot like it's got happier beats, I suppose.
Okay. And uh, what's her role within? Is this like a two man
Yeah,
group?
it's just a duo. We
Okay.
just yeah, like I rap and sing, she raps and sings. Like it's just a fun little two person duo.
Okay.
Um, I also have a feature coming out soon. My first feature out of my country, actually. Um,
Mm.
so
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it's actually like, even if it doesn't get as big as I hope it will, because like I just always have big hopes for my music. It's still
Mm.
going to be a cool little milestone marker for me, to be able to say like, yeah, I made music with somebody in a different country, and like, people heard it in a different country. Like that's cool.
Mm.
Um, and that person's name is David Astoria. He's got a song with an open verse called "Set the Record Straight," and he invited me to do some stuff to try and do a verse over his open, because I guess I think he found me either on TikTok, or we were in the same group on Facebook, and he like found me in there and was like, "Oh, I like your music, let's collab." I had no idea he was from England until after I had finished the song, and I like really took a listen to it, and I was like, man, he sounds like he's got an accent. And then I looked
Mm.
up his profile, and I was like, oh wow, he's in England. That's so cool. Um,
And
so, so I definitely have a song coming out under the guy's name is David Astoria, and the song is called "Set the Record Straight" featuring YUGEN. So that's coming out actually on the 13th of this month, so in 10 days.
hey, shout out.
Yeah, that one's
Definitely
fun.
looking forward to.
And I just did a feature with some guy from some guy. That sounds rude. I just did a feature with this artist
Mm.
from Scranton, Pennsylvania, as well. He found me on TikTok though, and I thought that was cool. I just did a
Mm.
song with him. His name is Williams, but the S at the end is a dollar sign, so it's Williams with a dollar sign. And the song is called
Mm.
E. The song is called Ego, Ego, and that one was pretty fun to do too.
So out of the features that you will be appearing on, was some of them that you really excited?
I'm really excited. Honestly, I was really excited for Ego to come out. Ego was a very chill like vibe, and I feel like if you're listening to Ego, you should have like the windows down on a summer day, just like, vibing with your arm out the window.
Mm.
um, and then I'm really excited for Set the Record Straight to come out, because I think, like, equally as excited, honestly, because one, I just love collabing with other artists. Like, I think it's like one of the coolest ways to cross market, but also one of the coolest ways to like network, because you can like you meet one artist, and then they want you to feature on another song that they have with another artist, or they hear that their friends are need to feature, or they consider you to start bands. And I think it's a really cool way of just like marketing yourself, but also your music. And
Mm.
also it's really fun to always bounce ideas off of other people, especially people you call your friends. Um, so I was super excited about this one. That Set the Record Straight. To my understanding, from what he told me and from the lyrical content, the song is kind of like a big fu to, like, I guess it can be interpreted as like, a big fu to any sort of person that did you wrong. So I really enjoyed doing that. I actually took a different approach to that song, and I sang like almost like an R&B verse on it.
Mm.
And so that one's super fun, and I'm super excited for that one to come out.
Nice, nice. And when it came to your performance, I'm curious, have you gotten a chance to perform solo?
Yeah, actually, I hit performing really hard at first. Like when I first, so I moved around a lot the last couple of years. So like I never really got to settle down and like be Yugen. Because I like moved out of West Virginia, which is where the Oracle was at, and I went to New Jersey, and I moved from New Jersey to Florida, where I ended up getting with my wife, and then we had a baby, so I had to move back to Jersey, where my family was, to like kind of help out. Um, and when I got back here, I didn't really know anybody too well, and I met this promoter whose name is Louis Derrico from Endless Era Promotions, and he was putting on like a rap show. Well, not a rap show, but like Johnny Craig was coming through town, and he's like an R&B artist, I suppose.
Mm,
And he needed people to play the show, and I was like, you know what? Like I'll play it, and um, I got a band to play it as well. So when I showed up, I ended up like doing so well. I sold out all of my tickets. Like all of my friends came to see me, and it was kind of dope.
congratulations.
And thank you. And um, the promoter was like so ecstatic that I sold more tickets than the main supporting band.
Mm,
Um, he was like, yeah, man. He basically told me
as
he
a
did so.
solo artist.
Yeah, as a solo artist, yeah, I sold more tickets than the direct support band, which, direct support they get to play like right before the headliners, and
Mm,
I was opening the show, so like I opened the show and I sold more tickets than the supporting band, so that was kind
mm,
of cool. And ever since then, he's offered me like so many shows here, like whenever he can. And I usually scoop him up when I can. It's been a little harder recently because of my daughter and like trying to get, obviously like, oh, sorry. Obviously I'm, not
daddy
only am I
duties.
an artist, but like I'm also a father and I work full time to support the family. So I get out when I can to play shows. It's just a little hard because, a lot of the shows that are worth anything are kind of far away. And in order for me
Mm,
to like drive out that far, I have to like, figure out the logistics of like, who's going to watch my kid for the night while I go out and probably get a hotel room wherever I'm going.
mm,
But
and
with the right kind of planning, I've played some banger shows, so it's been pretty fun.
mm-hmm. And not to pry too deep, but you have one child at the moment.
Yeah. I only have one. I'm hoping to have another one at some point. My kid's getting a little
Mm.
squirrely. I think she needs a friend. She needs somebody to
Mm,
occupy her. Not to mention,
okay.
I wanna get having kids out of the way early so I can have like the most time that I can with them. Like on this planet.
I understand that. And what's your max? 12? Keep it
Yeah,
by a
yeah,
dozen?
yeah. 2,000. I'm gonna have 2,000 kids. No, no. To be honest, I want to have like if to be truthful, if my next kid's a boy, I'm probably done.
Okay.
Like one boy, one girl, I'm cooling. If I have a girl, I'll probably try again, and if I have a third girl, I ain't trying again.
So third time the
Yeah, no, yeah. The third time's the end all be all. That's like the come on, baby, let me have a son. And if I don't have a son, I'm gonna be like, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. I'm not gonna be one of them TikTok dudes that's like I wanted a son so bad, but all I got were 13 daughters and then my son. Like, not gonna be me, bro. Not gonna be me. It's like
That would definitely be a crazy world.
nah, dog. I'm like, yeah. Whenever I see those videos, I'm like, that is crazy work. They're like when dad wanted a boy, but this is what he got. And there's like 9 girls that walk by, and then he's got a son
Mm,
who's like a newborn.
mm.
I'm like, ain't gonna be me, bro. Not me. You ain't taking me out
Yeah,
like
that
that, man.
college tuition is gonna be hella
Yeah, that's what
expensive.
I'm saying. I'm like, listen, bro, you ain't taking me out like that, man. Y'all can take me out in a lot of ways, but not like that. I'll tell you what.
That's funny. And
Yeah,
I'm curious, like, has having a child, changed, anything about your music, your perspective, or your sound?
Yeah, actually, I mean, you could say that. Like, I think, I think like when I first started Yugen, I was living a specific kind of life, and not to say it was a bad life, because like I've got like 10 years sober now.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, I don't want to say completely sober. I smoke weed, but
Mm,
I got 10 years clean. I'm not really doing off of everything else. I'm not really. I never really lived the last couple years of my life like too wild, but I think my whole life up until I got clean, like I lived a certain kind of life, and I think that before I had a kid, when I was doing hip hop music, I think I wrote a lot about the stuff that I used to do and the stuff that like I guess like don't do anymore. And once I had a kid, I just remember I was like sitting down, like trying to write some trap music, and um, like I just came to the realization that like I just don't live that kind of life anymore. So like writing about it isn't really working.
mm,
Um, and so I started kind of changing my focus, like of writing, and really taking a comprehensive look at myself, like genre wise, and being like, I don't really relate to this kind of music anymore. Like I'm not really rapping about, or I'm not really feeling any of the stuff I'm rapping about anymore. So I started taking like a more introspective view on my music, and I started incorporating like more singing and more like punk rock and just like other elements to kind of like encapsulate like who I am as an artist and as a person now. Um,
mm,
because I didn't want to leave behind anything for my kids that wasn't like I guess I don't want to say that that wasn't a good influence, because I guess like all music is subjective. Like you can get
mm,
anything from anything. Like when I listen to Polo G songs, I don't go, damn, that sounds like a good time. I go, damn,
mm,
man, that shit, that like that boy went through some shit. Like I'm kind of glad that you know what I mean? Like
mm,
it, it's just, so music's all about what you take from it.
mm.
And so I don't know. I just don't want to leave behind anything that my kids are gonna be like, why were you writing about this kind of stuff, Dad?
Mm. And I'm guessing you share your music with your daughter.
Yeah, yeah, I share my music with my family all the time. They're my biggest supporters. My daughter's very young, so she doesn't like really know too much. But like when I put a song on and it's me, she knows it's me. Like she knows my voice by now. Like
Mm,
singing wise, I guess, and rapping wise. Like anytime I have a song on, she'll go, "Is this you, Papa?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
mm.
You know what I mean? Or she'll go, "That's Papa," and I'm like, "Yeah."
And does she have like a favorite of her own yet,
A
or
favorite?
the one
What?
that stand out to out of your song? Do she have like a song that stand out to her out of your catalog, or
I think, to be honest, I think she's like 3 years old, so I think
oh,
she's not really too into it. But I know that my wife has a favorite, and she plays it for my daughter all the time. And that's like my biggest song actually right now. Is selflessly selfish. No, hold on. I always it's my own song, and I always
selfishly selfish?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Selflessly selfish. I always mess my own song title up. I didn't realize
mm.
how much of a tongue twister it would be when I made the title.
Because you're not selfish no more.
Yeah, like, but so like when I made the title, I was like, yeah, that goes hard. And then anytime anybody's like, yeah, so like, what's the biggest song in your catalog? I'm like selfishly, selflessly, that one.
Selfless.
Like, yeah, I'm like,
Okay, I can understand that.
yeah,
Okay, and
but
what's
it's
your personal favorite?
so, um, so to be honest with you, I I like Selflessly Selfish a lot because it's got my boy Fighting for Daylight in it, and his voice is absolutely magical. But I think out of my whole catalog, or out of my, I mean, yeah, maybe out of my catalog, my favorite is probably Saki for Breakfast. Um,
Mm,
just because it's like a weeb song. Like I just I really like anime, and I think I was like eating Pocky at the time, and
mm,
I would just started rapping about like drinking sake and eating Pocky and bitches
mm.
and you know I just
One
like
thing
I
led to another.
yeah, like I think I was just sitting on the back porch, just stoned one day, and I was like eating Japanese snacks, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna write a song about this.
Okay. Okay. No, that's understandable. Have you ever been to Japan?
No, and I really want to go one day. I really like. I literally exclusively watch anime. Like, if you asked me about a real people show, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? You know. But if you could give me like you could give me like the vaguest detail about an anime, and I'm like, oh, is it this one? Like.
Okay.
But you know, so I would really like to go. If not for anything, just to sightsee. Like, and I don't even have to go for anime. I'd love to, but I could just. I always
Okay.
think Japan's such a beautiful place. Every time I look it up or watch them 4K videos at work, you know, flying over Japan, I'm like, hell yeah, that's pretty as shit.
Okay. And I would like to test that theory. You said you can ask you anything around anime, and you probably know it.
Yeah. So I will say, like there are a few genres of anime that I absolutely have no idea about. Like, I'm not a big sports anime fan, but or slice of life. I know a couple good slice of lives, but like, I'm pretty versed in anime. I just, you know, I can pretty much figure out what it is.
Okay. So in this anime, you uh you have this girl, one of the main girls in this anime. She's really psycho. Um,
Since
and
she's
in
really
this anime,
psycho.
yeah, she's really psycho. She got
What
pink
color?
hair.
She's got pink hair.
Yeah.
Is it Future Diaries?
Oh shit. Okay.
I was gonna ask, is her hair pink?
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a good anime. All right. I
That
think
shit
you
was
got a good taste.
that shit was gas. If it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
that one, my next pick was gonna be School Live.
School Live.
Yeah, and if that wasn't it, I was gonna say Madoka Magica, but that's not a
Okay.
psycho. She just has pink hair and gets her fucking head bit off. But you know,
Okay. Hey, have you ever watched this or heard this anime called School Rumble?
yeah, I've heard of it. I don't think I've watched it though. Is it like one of them school fighting animes?
It's a comedy, so they make fun of like a lot of their own culture.
Oh, that's funny. So it's kind of like how One Punch Man was, where it was like making fun of anime.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
you
those are
see,
fun.
so you see a bit of like they make a joke out of like Dragon Ball Z between like
Oh,
the
okay.
the main characters
That's
when they have like a
awesome.
big fight scene. They make fun of like royales. You know
Oh,
how
that's
like
funny.
some of
They're
their
like a
anime,
yeah, they're
yeah,
like
they're
a
about like
satire
life and
one.
death situation. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Um, so it's really funny. So you might enjoy that.
I'll definitely check that out,
But
man. I'm always looking for new anime to watch for sure. I actually
okay,
recently just started rewatching ReZero because they just dropped the third season. So I'm really
ReZero.
excited. Yeah,
Oh
basically,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the dude gets reincarnated into this random world, and like he keeps dying and respawning back at the town square, and he's like, "What the fuck is happening to me?" So he keeps trying to do like the same thing but in different ways to like try to like you know see how long he can stay alive, and he's like
Mm-hmm.
trying to find like a checkpoint, quote unquote. Like he's just kind of living through this world as if it's video game logic, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, yeah. I think that's when you got like the two maids,
Yes,
that little
man.
twin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
shit
Okay.
goes dummy.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. Uh, I always like to hear people enjoy like different animes because it's really like a whole universe.
Yo, it is, and
Uh,
like a lot of people used to make fun of us for watching anime, but like the thing is that most of the shit that people watch nowadays is straight brain rot. Like anime, even though yeah, there's like cool fucking fight scenes and whatnot, yada yada. Like it really teaches you some life lessons. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I learned from an early age watching Naruto to like not give up on my dreams, to like always follow through with what I say, make as many friends as possible. You know, like you learn some really good life lessons from anime.
I agree.
Like anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it. Like just don't give up and just keep it grinding, keep it moving. Like and you'll become strong. Like that shit for real. That's a real life lesson right there.
I agree. There's so much into anime that you even if you're not an anime fan, I feel like there's a selection for you.
Yeah,
If you
hundred
like the
percent.
life, you know,
I tell people
you're
this shit all
really
the
into like
time.
sci-fi.
I tell people this shit all the time. I'm like, bro, it's not that you don't like anime. It's just that you haven't found one that you like. Like
Mm,
I told my wife that shit all the time, and like for instance, like my wife is really into only certain kinds of anime. She's got to really be in the mood to watch it. But
mm-hmm,
we were scrolling through, and we were like, oh, let's just watch a movie, yada yada, whatever. Watched a preview for this movie called Weathering with You, and we were like, yo, this shit looks gay. This shit looks so corny. This shit looks like it is gonna be like the slowest, like cheesy movie ever, like chick flick type shit, whatever.
mm,
And we were like, you know what, there's nothing else on, let's just fucking put it on. So we put it on, and like 15, 20 minutes into the movie, we're literally sobbing because it's so good already. Like, by the end of the movie, we were like, why is that movie so good? Like,
mm. I agree.
some of
I
them just
agree.
get you, man. They just get you hard.
I agree. Especially like our movies is pretty bad right now, in my
Yo,
opinion.
for real, dude. Movies being released right now are terrible.
Hmm. So, I think anime always had, cause I mean, to be honest, I think anime is such in a good spot because it doesn't have a limitation.
Exactly. They can do whatever they want with it, man.
Yeah. So that's
Like,
why I always enjoy it.
yeah, like I even like that like anime like My Hero Academia has like incorporated that whole music festival in like into like their like the music festival arc in there, and like showed that all the students could also be musically inclined rather than just fighting crime. And I thought that was kind of cool too. I was like, damn, that's a different take on like most anime. It's like, oh, you have a hobby outside of school, and it's like something stupid like playing soccer.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's like some dumb
That
shit
felt a bit
always.
personal.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's always some dumb shit. They're like, oh yeah, I just
Mm.
do this in my free time while the world's ending. I just do origami, and you're like, all right, bro,
Yeah.
like,
And the last anime that I would recommend, I'm not sure if you watched it yet, called Claymore.
yeah, I loved Claymore. I thought that was such a really cool anime. I like their take on um like how they did the enhancement experiments.
Hmm.
Thought that was kind of cool. It's very old school anime too. The animation's very old. I like it.
Hmm.
Back when
The one
everything
thing
was
I
still
like
hand
about
drawn.
yeah, it's something about the artwork that I really
Mhm.
enjoy about it.
Mhm.
It's really not because I grew up uh in the like late '90s, so I grew up with like Adult Swim, Toonami.
Yeah.
Uh, so like the first anime that I got put on was Inuyasha. That was like one of my favorites. Uh,
Mine was Wolf's Rain. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. That John goes
Never heard.
dummy. That John goes dummy as hell.
Yeah, it definitely sounds interesting. Uh, but my all-time favorite, I gotta give it to like Case Closed.
Yo, Case Closed was gas too. That's not one you hear about
Mm,
a lot.
that's my favorite. Like I was never really into like detective, like at least when it comes to like live action, unless they had something like extra to it, like some sci-fi or some supernatural or shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But Case Closed like did it in an interesting way. Like I get to see. like the crime, and then we gotta figure it out, like
Yeah, you got to
uh,
figure it out together. They were really good
mm,
about doing that. I like that a lot.
it's
But
like
yeah,
Dora, but rated R.
yeah, exactly, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
It was like mini Sherlock Holmes.
yeah. All
Yeah,
right. So coming in the halfway, bringing this back to you.
yes, sir.
We actually have some interesting collaborations on our end, and we let it. I'll let you decide if you want to connect with them or not.
Okay,
Our first one. It's funny that you say that you're in the anime. Shout out to One Nation, a black author creating his own manga, comic book, with a female lead character. His story dives into like sci-fi, monsters, and stuff like that.
hell yeah.
Okay, I guess you connected. A second collaborator is a 2D animator, specialized in all 2D animation, um, flyers, etc. If you'd like to connect with someone within that field, we can make that happen.
Yeah, I'm always down to network with anybody. To be honest with you, I think I could probably find a use for any connection, especially 2D animation. I could probably commission at some point like a little music video or something. That'd be cool.
No, good. Our third collaborator, they make short action films. Shout out to Jet Production. If you're interested, I'll send you over their work. But they're interested to collaborate with artists using your music uh, that fits their scenes as soundtracks. And if you are interested to act, however, they are interested, to work with
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be down to do some movie scores. I can even write stuff like specifically for what they're doing, you know?
you. Okay. All right, bet. That gets you connected. And I'll shout out to the last one. Shout out to Moss. He's the producer, really good at specializing in creating samples and stuff like that. Um, also slash a hip hop artist as well. But me and Moss is collaborating, creating a hub for artists to come together to make music around themes and challenges.
That
So
sounds cool.
if you're
Yeah,
interested in both, I keep you updated.
for
But if
sure.
you're just interested in the producer, I see you his work.
Now I'm interested in all this stuff, man.
Okay, but I would send you more information after the podcast.
Word.
And and bringing this back to you, we know you're a bit of an artist. Are you a producer as well?
So I buy most of my beats just because it's easier. But I do like mix. Um, Up until recently, I mix and mastered all my vocals to each of the tracks that I've done. So like, I wouldn't say I'm a producer, but like I could do small production on my voice.
Oh,
So I usually know how I like to sound, and when I send it out to whoever I'm sending it to, I usually send it out with a reference track because I know that it's hard to edit somebody's vocals in the DAW when you send it with an effect preloaded on it. So I normally like will
mm-hmm,
bounce down a reference track with the effect on it, then send them the raws and send them the bounce down track and go, okay,
mm-hmm.
this is this is what I want to sound like. I use these effects and yada yada, and they just kind of take it from there.
Okay, that's understandable. And when it comes to your skill set, like I said, we know you're a bit of an artist, a bit of an engineer when it comes to voice. And, is there other skill sets of yours that you like to promote?
Um, I mean, I tend to make all my own artwork for the albums too, but like most of my EPs and stuff, I made all the artwork for myself. So I do like light graphic design work, but for the most recent EP, anything for Bliss,
You did that?
no, I did not. I actually have to Shout out my friend Steph. She goes by. Let me pull up her Instagram handle because I don't want to be putting her whole government out there for the world to hear. Let
Respect.
me see. IRL. Yeah, her Instagram handle is IRL underscore succubus. She is a she is a she's an artist that does like really creepy like out there kind of art. But she's currently like creating a comic book. Um,
Mm,
and the art that she's been doing for the comic book is like all in like a magenta kind of tone.
mm.
Um, like a magenta with like dark, overtones and stuff. And like she's been my friend since like we were in college, but when I started seeing her artwork pop up, I asked her if she could draw me, an album cover, and she had drawn this fauna girl, I don't know, like mad long ago, like in January or something. And
Mm-hmm.
I saw it on her Instagram, and I was like, "Yo, Scratch drawing me something. Can I use this?" Um, and you just put my logo and all that stuff on there. And she was like, "Absolutely." So she let me use like one of her pieces that she had for sale that like just wasn't moving.
Good
And I think,
job.
yeah, yeah, and it was really cool. And I get all of my stuff actually like mixed and mastered and produced by the guy who featured on Selflessly Selfish.
Mm.
Um, so my boy Fighting for Daylight, he is also a producer, and he does all of my mixing and mastering.
Oh, he's like your
So,
main producer?
yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to shout him out because we'll shout the both of them out because even though I do most of the work for my early releases and for all of my content, those
Mm-hmm.
two have been really pivotal in my growth as an artist recently. So I just wanted to shout them out and let it be known that I love y'all and
Hmm.
and y'all really helped me out
Shout out. And I'm
for sure.
curious, when it comes to talent, I would give you the floor. When it comes to talent, what talent are you looking to connect with or network with?
I think I'd like to do more collabs, like artist wise with bigger artists. I think I'd like to like I aspire to be able to make music at least at the level and I don't no, that sounds bad. I don't want to say at least at the level because a lot of these artists are out here fucking killing it.
Mm,
But I want to be at the level where I can make music with people like Garden and Break-ins and like Eric Doa, Aries, a little extra. Like I just wish I could like make music with them, but I'm looking to collaborate kind of more within that genre. That's like hyper pop, but not really. Like it's more on the hip hop side with like distorted hyper pop beats. Um, I'd also really like to get in contact with more people that do music videos. Just because like I need more physical representation for my music. And I think also I wouldn't mind connecting with like a good management team.
no.
Um, that's pretty much because I mean talent is also something like music where it's subjective. Like I think um, rather than just musical and artistic talent, I'd also really like to connect with people that are talented in like navigating the business aspect of music.
Mm,
I just
respect.
kind of want to build a team.
Mm. Like like your own group or label?
No, like just like a team around me that can like help get me where I need to go.
No.
I think that would be like if I could just have like a solid like management team. I think that would really help me out, or even just like an agent or like a booking agent or something like just to get me better shows, get me out there more.
Mm. And when it comes to your live performance, what's some of the songs you enjoy performing live compared to the crowd?
um, so I have somewhat of a set list, but I think I play every song off of um I play every song off of my new EP. So I play Life Sucks, Saki for Breakfast, Noon, Wax, and I also play like Selfishly Selfish. If I'm with one of my favorite songs to perform, honestly, and this is like if my boy is there because Uh, my first ever like feature outside of my younger brother was this rapper from Poughkeepsie, New York, and his name is Rappin' Frizzy, and he is the man. He's such a multifaceted artist, and we did a song called "Exist" together, and I only play it live if he's at the show. So.
Mm.
Because it doesn't sound as good with me rapping his parts, know. But I think I also play Struggle, which came out in 2002, and that's just about like how the world is fucking. I said 2002, 2022, and that
Mm.
and that's just about struggling with everything. I mean, the economy, life, shit was just real shitty. It was like COVID, and I wrote that song.
Mm.
Um, and then I play captive as well. Depending on the time of the year, I might throw witch bitch in there. Sick of the shit's usually on good rotation. Um, but yeah, so I tend to just kind of play like my bangers, just the ones that
Okay.
just the ones that people really know. I try not to go too out of the box and get too obscure with like my older music, just because like that stuff is like buried in SoundCloud, so like no nobody's ever gonna really know what that is, and it'll never get released. So people will be like, "Why the hell is he performing these songs live, and we can never hear them anywhere else?"
Mm.
Um, but for the most part, I try to play everything that I have released, just because I don't really have a huge discography on Spotify. My whole discography is kind of on SoundCloud, but I can't release all of those because I don't own all of the beats. I just kind of was using some of the beats as like part of my portfolio
Mm.
just to start rapping and, figure it out.
And my last question, uh, what was the crowd favorite out of your catalog?
Um, I think everybody likes Life Sucks a lot when I play it live. Just because the beat kind of knocks real hard. It's a real good opener.
Mm.
Um, it's I think it kind of the beat itself is kind of a call to action to get people to move.
Mm.
But I think as of recently, a lot more people have liked Wax. Wax was my second single off of the new EP. I think everybody kind of has been vibing with that song lately.
Okay. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. And coming to the end, uh, shout out all your platforms. Shout out anybody that you want to put on, and then drop a song out of your catalog you want the audience to tune.
Okay. So, you know, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time? My brain just completely just
Uh,
broke.
no problem. The first thing to do, shout out all your platforms.
Right,
Second,
right.
shout out anybody that you want to put on. And then third, then drop a song out of your catalog you want the audience
Got
to tune.
got you. Yeah, so I'm on all platforms, social media wise. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I don't really fuck with Twitter. I've never really fucked with Twitter. I'm on YouTube. And as far as my music, I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Deezer, SoundCloud, YouTube Music. I'm everywhere. Um, as far as people I'd like to shout out and maybe put on, I'd say once again, Fighting for Daylight. They're a wonderful, awesome artist. They just recently got their Spotify fixed, and all of their stuff is now back out on Spotify. I'd say Talon isn't real. Wyoming isn't real. Also, I'd like to shout out 1112 Media. I have like a DIY record label. All the bands on there really deserve to be on there. They're really good. I'd say if you guys want, check out 1112 Media on all platforms. You'll see a picture of a running clock. That's my logo. Check out all the artists I have on there. They all work really fucking hard to be the best that they can, and they're all killing it in the game right now. I'd also like to shout out a band called No Take Backs and a band called Lives Lost. Their singer Pellegrini, yeah. He is a big reason why I even released the new Yugen EP. I wasn't gonna at first, just because it was like kind of for me. And he's really pushed me to, like share it with the world. And I'm forever grateful for that. Um, and yeah, I guess that's what I got.
And what song you want
Oh,
them to tune into?
right, and one song that I think that I'd like everybody to tune into. I think the most user friendly song that I have, or listener friendly song that I have, is "Selflessly Selfish." I think that song is an easy song for everybody to get into, to kind of show you what I'm about. Um, it's definitely a crowd pleaser in the aspect that I think everybody can relate to how that song makes you feel. So I'd say give that a listen, and I hope it entices you to give me a shot and to listen to more of my stuff.
Shout out to you.